The last European Championships we had was in 2020. So the first in 2 years. And these athletes, many of them new black belts at the first Europeans for the very first time at their Euros.
Thais immediately into a double underpass here, putting on some strong pressure. Definitely not fazed by the long wait here before her final kicked off.
Yeah, Kaori has a very flexible, beautiful guard, great guard recovery, just a multitude of attacks. She actually has a couple European gold medals at other belts. This is not her first European. She's been over here many times for this competition, but is her first at black belt.
Starting to work a little bit of a stack pass here. But the rooster weight division have such flexible hips. It's difficult to keep that thing going sometimes.
Let's give a bit of a reset back to the center. Make sure you don't mess up any of the grips, any of the positioning. And you're right. I mean, their hips are so open that Kaori looks really unfazed, even though she's bent in half here.
Thais, very powerful for a rooster weight. Competitive, I believe, in CrossFit as well. Definitely putting that to use here today as she drives into her opponent.
Now she has a little bit better of a position where she's able to tilt Kaori onto one side. She can start to open up the hip, but picks her all the way up in the air. Kaori looks very, very comfortable here. Trying to open her hip up to one side, maybe she can bring her right knee or her right foot in between herself and Thais to create some space, to get some guard work going. Kaori looks to be trying to break off Thais' left-handed grip to start to be able to bring her right knee inside or her right foot inside. And she is able to for a moment, but not for too long as Thais brings her left knee down to staple Kaori's leg to the ground. Beautiful transition.
Nearly had a spider guard going for her, but Thais shut that down. Looking to break that grip now. So much pressure on top. But like you mentioned, Kaori really unfazed. Pretty comfortable here. Probably happens all the time in training. Biding her time before she can recompose a bit more of an attacking guard.
Yeah, from what I've been told, you know, rooster weights in training are used to being the smaller opponent. They're used to being bent in half, smashed, a lot of pressure. So a lot of times they look so composed as they're getting smashed by each other in competition, and it really shouldn't be that surprising, right? I mean, they deal with this every day in training, but what I'm really impressed with Thais is her ability to maintain constant pressure and move a little bit forward at a time, but also stay very patient and not make any big movements or big mistakes.
Yeah, and I was going to say they're used to the smash pass occurring from bigger and larger opponents, but it's not so often you see a rooster weight prefer to be on top and acting these pressure passing exchanges, going for double unders, over unders, etc. But Thais seems to be living right at home here. Has no issue continually pouring on this top pressure. Switching sides now.
Seemed to look for a knee cut with the left knee for a moment, but not before Kaori was able to insert her right de la Riva hook and shut down the knee movement of Thais' left leg.
Kaori now into a nice de la Riva here, also with the underhook. Really the first time in the match where she's had an opportunity to maybe get off some of her own attacks. Nice work staving off the pressure. No advantages awarded to Thais. So everything even now.
Yeah, so deep in on that de la Riva that as she went to rotate, she actually lifted herself off the ground to try to go behind the knee of Thais. 4 minutes have already elapsed here, so we have less than 6 minutes remaining. 0-0, totally even match here on the scoreboard. Make sure Thais' hands don't get stuck in her gi. Pull that sleeve right back down and they'll reset back in the center.
Halfway through this match now, you have to think that Thais has been controlling the tempo throughout. But Kaori, again, seeming to adapt to the forward pressure of Thais and looking to enact maybe some of her own attacks. But I would say, as of now, Thais could be considered to be leading the judge's decision. Now pouring out some pressure from top again, looking at a pass. Kaori manages to defend once more. Thais looking for the stack.
Yeah, back to the double under again. This is her seems to be her preferred passing position. It's where she was in the beginning of the match. Had a near pass attempt. And interesting to see the way that her right hand is on the pants in a control position. Her left hand is on the lapel. So she probably wants to lift one hip up to the side and start to maybe move towards the right.
Kaori took a long look at the clock right there. Still halfway to go. This is a nice look from Thais on top.
Yeah, Kaori seemed for a moment to look up for maybe a triangular omoplata sequence, but Thais' posture combined with her pressure and her left knee placement really shut those attacks down. Interesting way to move to the side now. Thais starts to rotate towards the side on the left and now kind of back in a squatted center position, looking very strong with her base.
Yeah, the squat really neutralized any availability for the De La Riva hook to slide in there. Forcing Kaori to kind of focus what she's doing now on this collar sleeve. But again, her right leg is not really too much in play. She's trying to find the hip, but Thais is so compact. She's having a hard time getting anything going.
Yeah, I think that collar grip is saving her right now with her left hand, kind of keeping Thais' posture broken down just enough to prevent her from really getting the pass attack she needs. Thais is smart here. She knows that if she does anything too crazy to pass while that collar grip's in play, then omoplatas and triangles start to pop up. Now we see another De La Riva on the right side with Kaori. Even though Thais is in this very low squat, Kaori now with the underhook again on the right-hand side or back to the pant grip.
Nice grip rate from Thais on top. Right into a pass here. Looking for the double unders once again.
Yeah, we definitely are starting to see a pattern here with Thais' passing. But now she connects the hand. This is a bit of a different position. She's able to pinch the knees together and neutralize the hips of Kaori. Stapling her foot all the way above her head. May expose the back here. Leg drags.
Really nice pressure on top here from Thais. That lapel doing a lot of the work as well. Efficient jiu-jitsu.
You see Kaori desperately trying to break that grip off of her pant or her ankle to unstaple her leg and try to get that back in action. It's a very patient position because if you do rush to the pass or try to rush to the leg drag or rush to the back and you create enough space for someone with a really flexible, beautiful guard like Kaori, she's going to find it and she needs to recover. So we're starting to see that a little bit now, wiggling her knee back in, her left knee back in front of Thais' chest, creating just enough space to maintain her guard. Just under 2 minutes left on the clock. We're still 0-0, and I think it's fair to say Thais is setting the pace of the match, but hasn't been able to use that pace setting and that aggressive passing to put anything on the board just yet.
Yes, Kaori's guard has stood up under the test and the pressure of Thais. But again, not a lot of offense coming out of Kaori's side of the things here. So no scores on the board. A single advantage would put someone up, and Kaori pushes Thais out of bounds there.
So they'll be back on the feet. Be interesting to see if they opt for the same position, if we may see Thais change strategy and maybe pull or double pull, come up for the advantage, something of that nature. Would be a smart play, I think, from a spectator's perspective of knowing that Kaori is most likely going to stay on the bottom, double pulling and coming up on top for the advantage, trying to put something on the board. It's been 8 minutes of trying to pass, right? And we still 0-0. So you got to imagine that competitors might want to switch something up a little bit here. Back into that double unders again.
Thais looking at one of the better stacks of the match so far. Can she negate the hips of Kaori enough?
This time Kaori does have a better grip on the sleeve on the right-hand side, preventing Thais from connecting her hands, but that's really all that's saving her right now. Under a minute to go, about 50 seconds. We're still 0-0 here.
Thais relentless on top. I mean, really has not slowed down a bit throughout this match. As we approach 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, doing her best to keep all the space tight in order to look for the pass. But Kaori consistently coming back to that De La Hiva and doing her best to get some action going to elevate. Shot up for a couple triangles. And now trying to rotate her hips all the way around, but they are right on the edge of the mat with about 20 seconds left. Any advantage here would turn the match completely in one's favor.
Yeah, kind of a precarious situation because an incompleted sweep out of bounds could result in some kind of score. So 5 seconds left, though. I think this is going to be how the round plays out. Going to go to a judge's decision. Let's find out how they saw it, Kendall.
And a unanimous decision for Thais here. Her first European title at the black belt level. And our first finals and champion of the day.
2022 European champion, Thais Loureiro, representing Atlas Jiu-Jitsu.
Congratulations to Thais on her first title here at the Europeans. Next up, we'll see our black belt light featherweight final between Maisa Bastos and Rose El Sharouni. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.